Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So today we have Joseph,
Hello.
our 15-year-old Instagram extraordinaire, online with us today, and I brought a collection to this episode of books that I grew up learning that were just it was a different world of books. A lot of these books, as you can see, The Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe and Chronicles of Narnia, Laura Ingalls Wilder with Little House on the Prairie, and A Little Princess, like the types of books were very I don't know, I would say they were fantasy, they were romantic, there were a lot of they were written, like the Chronicles of Narnia is as a 7-book series, and all of the kids have had to read them over time. But there was a story from like beginning to end. So I guess in some ways there's some similarity between like this series and the series of today, even though it was written so long ago. Tell me, you've read these books, and you've read these books. Tell me a little bit about the books that kids are reading today, and like why are they exciting to you?
Every post-apocalyptic, pre-dystopian American novel has a different way of getting to their post-apocalyptic state. They have a different apocalypse. So in this one, in Hunger Games, it's a war. In The Scorched Trials, it's a natural disaster. In Divergent, it's the Hunger Games again. In Ready Player One, it's when people have neglected to take care of the world because of virtual reality. And in The Fifth Wave, it's aliens.
Aliens?
Audiences love aliens.
Holler back!
So all of these have a different apocalypse and a different writing style. And it's really... I enjoy reading about the different types of apocalypses.
So which one of these, out of these books, who came first in the post-apocalyptic, like way of writing?
The Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games came, and that's
that was...
Collins, who wrote the
Suzanne Collins.
Suzanne Collins wrote the Hunger Games, and then it kind of piggybacked, I don't know, maybe, I don't want to call them piggybackers. They probably came out with them all independently from separate rooms, and they had no idea that Suzanne was writing this book at the time.
But Divergent has a lot of similarities.
But some of them have a lot of similarities. Like, I know from watching the movies, shame on me, that Hunger Games has districts, and then I think, don't they have districts too? Or what are they? Factions, right? Factions. But there's only like 5 factions.
Right.
There's only 5 factions for
5
these.
and 12.
And there's 12 for these. And they make excellent movies, although you have to wait every 2.5 years between movies. But we're through with this. So how long ago, if we've seen all the movies, do you know when the first Hunger Games actually came out? Like how many years ago?
2008.
2008. Tell me, out of these different book series, like are they all female heroines? Are they all heroines, or what's the... Ready Player One's got a male, right?
Yeah. Ready Player One is Wade Watts, and then the Hunger Games is Tom. No, his name isn't Tom.
Maze Runner.
Maze Runner's name...
Thomas.
Thomas. Close enough. These...
Okay, so there's 2 that have heroes, and then the rest of them have
females.
Have heroines as but they're all teenagers, right? I mean, isn't that like
right.
So what do we have in similarities? They all start out as teens. They all are post-apocalyptic, and it's just a new. It seems like it's a new generation of C.S. Lewis, because now that I think about it, there were teens in Chronicles of Narnia, right? So not like we're doing a debate of generations of book readers, but if you want a good book series like that's like post-apocalyptic dystopian
pre-apocalyptic
pre-apocalyptic books. You have some teenage heroines in Chronicles of Narnia, and in and heroes and heroines, and then also a heroine in Little House on the Prairie, and the little princess was a girl. So maybe just like all the books that I remember being a teenager reading are books about and written for teenagers. So that's kind of cool. I mean, now that I think about it. So do adults just not read it?
Well, the
what do
target
adults read?
audience is growing.
Target audience is growing in this type of books. I mean, your books definitely are larger than mine. So maybe that has something to say about it. Other than that, you know, we've been talking each day about unschooling and what it means to be unschooled, and obviously you read because you have these wonderful books for education. What are you working towards in your unschooled career as being one of our children who's never been to school before? Traditional school.
I'm working toward diving. We have competitions coming up. This is the busy season. And then ballet also. We have 2 performances coming up for that. And in Instagram and...
Okay, shout out to your
Business
let's just
shout out to myself.
Shout out to yourself at Marvelous Jokes, and I know you try to be, you know, really private and stuff, and good for you, but your cover's been blown.
Yep.
And part of your Instagram account is because you have so many subscribers, we get to benefit from that, and they get to benefit. You've shared things on your site, like you shared this T-shirt from Wild Folk, and I think they're at Wild Folk Co. on Instagram. You've got this cool hat that they sent you from Artisan Box on Instagram, and I've got a cool little cup cozy from my gal at Cozy On Up. So you know, it's such a cool dynamic to see you being able to spend your day building a social community and being able to like talk to your friends and do share for shares and do like for likes. I mean, there's no doubt that part of the reason why you have what are you at now? 133,000 followers is because you've had the time during the day in order to build these networks of communities, and your posts are really funny and they're pretty humorous. And so, you know, I just wanted to say that, you know, we're super proud of you and your ventures in advertising and your education. And so I think yesterday I heard something around this time in our show, and it sounded like a little car. I think it must be time for the question card.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, this is a fun part in our show where we get to answer people's questions. So, Joseph, I'm going to part the Red Seas of books here and ask that you would draw a question out for us, and we'll see what the people want to know. The curious people for the unschooling and homeschooling and non-traditional schooling.
Wait.
No, the doors don't open. You just have to like pluck in there and pull
trying
one
here.
out.
I'm trying. Okay.
So this one's from at Nerdygram. Can you see it? I don't think you can see it. Here, you get that? Did
At Nerdygram.
At Nerdygram asks.
And at Nerdygram asks, what does a typical day of unschooling look like, or even a WK?
I think it means a week, or even a week. Like,
Even
what's
a week.
a typical week
Okay.
look like? So, this is pretty much it. Welcome to our exciting life. A typical day. Okay, no, seriously though, a typical day of unschooling looks like we wake up at
10:30 today.
10:30 today. I think Jeffrey woke up at 12 the other day. We wake up when we're done sleeping, and and mom sets her alarm to be up at 6, and I get out of bed when I'm done sleeping. And we will come downstairs and we will eat breakfast together as family. And then we typically try to get together in my office and talk about what we're going to do today. Talk about like what we're doing for Marvelous Jokes, what we're doing for the Cookie Boys, what we're doing for Whole Heart Art, for our businesses, our different businesses. And we kind of like, you know, how are we doing in the YouTube videos? Like, where is our progression? So we'll have a sit down conference meeting. The little guys are watching Disney Junior or Nat Geo for kids, and then we'll get started on our, like, the stuff that we have to do. Then we come back together for lunch. And then we do for like an hour whatever didn't get done in the morning. And then I start driving. I start driving you to ballet and your sister to ballet. And then I'll start driving you to diving on Thursdays and Fridays. And then while I'm out driving, one of the older children, like Jeffrey, will be home and they'll go for a walk. They'll go to the park. So, I guess a typical day of unschooling would be like Saturday and Sunday for everybody else, except that during the time that's designated as work and school time, we're working towards advancing our businesses or learning something new. Sometimes we just sit around and watch documentaries on Shark Week or something fun. I mean, every day we really work to learn every single day. And I really think that even as an adult, we should all be working to learn every day. So I don't know. Do you think that I answered that well enough? What do you think?
That's pretty accurate. We have a lot of people to clean up after, so that takes up a lot of the day.
Yeah.
Keeping the house clean and just getting everybody where they need to go.
Oh, and every Friday we meet with our grandparents, your great-grandparents. We have lunch, and that is like the best. Let me tell you, that is the best day of the week because we don't work on anything business-related. We might do our posts on Instagram, Facebook, do social media stuff, but we'll just get together with Grandma and we'll watch a movie. She's in her 80s and my aunt is in her 60s, and we will eat lunch together, her house or our house. Then we'll watch a movie, and we typically watch classic movies like what's a classic movie that we've
Old Yeller.
Old Yeller. Oh God, I don't watch that one again. And then my aunt will get on like series. Remember what was that one series we had to watch like every King Kong ever made, and that was awesome. And thank you, Auntie. We still haven't watched that last one, and I hope we gave it back. King Kong was super fun, and then if like Despicable Me, we'll watch like 1, 2, and 3 each week. We'll watch in like Alvin and the Chipmunks. This will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so some of them are classics, but most of them are just really fun movies that we'll get to sit and listen to my grandma laugh. And that's probably the most fun part of Friday is listening to Grandma laugh. So anyways, I hope that we've addressed some of your questions, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow because you will have liked and subscribed to this show. We're on Monday through Friday, and hopefully we'll just keep making more and more episodes because we aren't going to stop unschooling anytime soon. Maybe we'll help you think about being more creative and learning new ways to do things as time goes by. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Leave any comments you'd like. We'd love to answer.
Bye.
Bye. Why are we even here? We should just be watching movies and eating fudge.
I think depending on what time they're watching
guess
this,
somebody
we
has
probably
to.
are watching a movie.